Alright, hello everyone, welcome back. So yeah, I am back from vacation and ready to do videos again. Hope you guys had a nice week. And yeah, I got to say that I had my phone with me like I said, so I was able to answer questions in Discord and on YouTube and stuff. And yeah, it made me really happy to see that you guys are helping each other out on Discord in the server. And yeah, I just wanted to say that I'm really happy with that, and that was like the intention of the server as well, so that you guys can help each other out and that we like all can discuss things that are related to our class and here get better together. So yeah, I'm happy to see that, but this would be like a topic for another video, I guess. So yeah, in this video we are talking about Lady Vashj. Just like I said, the next videos will be Lady Vashj guide and comprehensive arms guide, but yeah, so this is the first one, which is Lady Vashj guide. This is a little bit later than I would have been able to do it normally just because of the vacation, but yeah, sometimes this is just how things are happening. And yeah, I hope this is not too late for most of you guys, but yeah, doesn't matter. So let's just start, because this video could be a long one, I don't know yet, but we will see. So let's just first look at the first phase of Lady Vashj and what abilities, what mechanics we have to watch out for here. And yeah, the first one I want to talk about is just an ability that is called static charge. And static charge is like all this, I think you know what it is. It's where you get the debuff and then you do damage to your friends around you. And if you have this debuff, you do not want to obviously stay in melee group, because melee group is always clumped up. If you're range, you can just spread out and do damage as normal, but if you're melee, it's kind of unfortunate. You have to walk out of that camp, and then the only thing you can really do as a warrior here is using your range option a little bit if you want to, like throwing weapon or bow, doesn't matter, like your range option. So it kind of sucks, but sometimes it happens. So yeah, the most annoying thing is though if your tank gets it, because your tank obviously can't really go away with that debuff. So yeah, he likes to if he stays on maximum hit range and you stay on maximum hit range, I think you don't get hit. If you still get hit while your tank is tanking, you can try to do like a motion where you just walk in for an auto attack and then style. So walk in, auto attack, mortal strike, walk out again. Most of the time you will not get hit by static charge, because it ticks like every 1.5 seconds or something like this. Sometimes you do get hit, but since you only walk in for auto attacks, this means you only walk in every 3 seconds or every 2 point something seconds. So even if you get hit, it doesn't really matter, because this phase is really not intense for mana, and therefore you will not hurt your raid if you do it like this. And yeah, this is a way to counter that. Alright, so the second ability you will encounter in phase 1 from Lady Vashj is the root, so the entangle. So everyone gets rooted that is like close to her. So yeah, it's like a little bit of an AoE mass root around her. And this one can be a little bit annoying, especially if you combine them with other abilities. But yeah, there are obviously ways to handle this ability the best. Like with every boss mechanic, you have good ways to handle them, you have bad ways to handle them, and you have like normal ways to handle them, if we can refer to them like that. And one good way to handle this root is to stay on max hit range behind her, because what she likes to do is she likes to root everyone, and then she walks a little bit back, so out of melee range of the tank, and then she likes to fire like some abilities at the tank, some range attacks and stuff like this. It's the same thing that a lot of mobs doing in the game. For example, if you fighting a Golkar in the Barons, he likes to throw a net on you, and then he walks a couple of steps back and shoots at you. So the further you are away when she roots you, that is the tank, the less she gets to travel back to reach like the range where she can use her range abilities. So this means if the tank stays further away from her, like the furthest away he can, and you stay on max hit range at her back, if the root happens right in this moment and she travels backwards to shoot at the tank, you will still be able to hit her. So yeah, this is something you can min-max on this root ability, so you always want to stay on max hit range behind her, and if your tank can do it, he wants to stay on max hit range as well for his melee attacks. So if you still can't hit her because something went wrong, maybe your positioning was wrong or the positioning of your tank wasn't really that tight in this moment, because for a tank, staying on max hit range is a lot of the times extremely awkward, because mobs sometimes like to move around strangely. If you try to get on max hit range, they sometimes just move around and do crazy things, so it's very hard for your tank to achieve that. Most of the time it just happens because when you kite, a lot of the time the mob will stop moving on the max hit range, but yeah, sometimes they don't. It's always a little bit funky. So if it happens so that she walks backwards and you're entangled in the root and you can't attack her, you want to get out of the root, right? Because it's a huge DPS loss, because it's uptime, and uptime is like king. Uptime is your best DPS friend. Because of this reason and because of some other reasons that we will discuss later, I used PvP insignia on that fight, which has a 5-minute cooldown and will get me out of roots or anything really. And this trinket can be huge DPS increase. It can very well be the difference between survival or defeat in the last phase in particular. So I really recommend this trinket if you're in progress, or if you have a lot of melees especially, because in last phase I think most of the time the Blessing of Freedom will be reserved for your tank, so you will most likely not get the freedom unless you get static charge together with the hood, which can happen in phase 1 as well, and in that case I like to have the insignia as well. Because like you can see in this clip, we get rooted and I get static charge. I wait a little bit to see if I get freedom here, but it's taken me too long, so I popped my trinket because it got a little bit too scary for my liking. So yeah, this is why I used the insignia here and I got out. And yeah, so I really can't stress enough how good insignia is on this fight. It's most of the time better than other DPS trinkets. Like sometimes it saves your life, sometimes it saves your potion cooldown, because if you cannot get out of root and you will die if you don't get out, you need to use a living action potion. And if you have your insignia, this means sometimes you have your insignia for getting out of the root. So sometimes your insignia gives you uptime, sometimes your insignia saves your life, and sometimes your insignia saves you a potion cooldown. So yeah, for me, this sounds pretty good. Obviously, if you have a DPS insignia, you will deal more DPS if you don't need if you don't get in a situation where you need your PvP insignia. But I found good use for my PvP insignia in every try we did in progress, especially on the tries. No, not on every try, but on every try we got 2p3. I got a good usage for my PvP insignia, and it felt pretty good to have this additional root breaker. So yeah. Then there's the last thing. You may wonder why we pull her up this ledge here, this ramp, and this is just because she transitions on 70%, and then she walks back to the middle, and the longer she needs to travel to get there, the more damage we can inflict in this short amount of time. And so the P3, when she gets active again, will be a little bit shorter. And if you progress on P3 right now, you know how much of a difference 4% or 3% or even 2% boss HP can be. And this is why I use my separate charge when she walks back and try to get an heroic strike in like everything, do like maximum damage in like this little bit short amount of time, even throw a throwing weapon in her back and everything. So yeah, this was everything about P1. Now we're going to look at P3, P2. Alright, so let's just talk about P2. Yeah, in P2 you could be assigned for doing tainted elementals and enchanted elementals on the stairs, or you could be assigned for killing elites in the middle of the room. So yeah, I was assigned for killing elementals on this side, but I think here there's a little bit more to min-max, I think, maybe, I don't know. There's not a whole lot that goes into this phase anyways for you as a melee, like only like a couple of small things. For example, those elementals can parry, so you want to avoid attacking him from the front, and instead you want to try and take the back of those elementals, because yeah, if you get parried you get a little bit of a struggle killing them. They provide victory rush if they die, so it's actually a big difference if you do get the killing blow or not for the next elemental that you attack. Yeah, like you see right there, the Nagars, like the elites, spawn on the side here. So if an elite spawns right next to you, you want to be super careful. You don't want to get hit by them because they hit hard. And you want to call them out because, yeah, it's good for the tank if he knows where he needs to go. Because they run at your healers, and the sooner your tank gets in position, the better he can protect them. So yeah, we split up the room in like different parts and gave them colors. So if I see an elite spawning on my side, I say like, or on my part, I say like elite spawn purple, so the tank knows where he needs to go. This will greatly increase the chances of your healers to survive those elite spawns. So yeah, you want to save your intercept for there's a strider spawn as well, so those mobs always spawn on those edges here, so yeah, be a little bit careful with that. However, they always have like immediately aggro on your healers, so yeah, but if you see one of those spawn, step aside. So yeah, in addition, you want to save your intercept for tainted elementals, and you will get hit by the chain lightning from time to time. And if you're down here, you're not in range for your healers, like you're not in line of sight for your healers. So I try to not stay down there too long. Really, you need to come up. If you took like, even if you took one chain lightning, go upstairs, get your health back up. If you took two in a row, it becomes like your #1 priority to get up and get some healings. Okay, look here, I'm really low right here, so yeah, you really don't want to die. In addition, here you can see those striders will get rooted from time to time, and in World of Warcraft, if a mob is rooted and he doesn't have a range option to do, like he can only do melee attacks, he will automatically melee a target that is close, because he simply doesn't have another option. So you want to be aware of this mechanic for this fight, because here sometimes they get rooted randomly and then you die, or you could die at least. So yeah, your better shout is like really important for the people that are in your group and killing elites upstairs, but most of the time you're not able to hit those people with your better shout. However, if you get in a situation where you could, you should do it, because it will increase the kill speed of them, by a lot here, and here it's important. So I need to go up again. So normally you don't want to retake those mobs from the front, but I was very low, so I went up. Yeah, just killing some more elementals. The Nagres can cleave, like the elites can cleave. And yeah, here I step a little bit aside, like doing 2 little side steps to the right here, if you can see them. And I do them because the Strider comes close. So now he gets rooted. So maybe if I wouldn't have done these 2 little side steps, maybe, just maybe, I would have been in range for him to kill me. So yeah, this is like these small things you can improve here, and you really don't want to die to stupid stuff here, because this is a phase that is like not really hard, same as P1. You don't want to lose people here, really don't. And yeah, where was I? Elites in the middle, they want to they should die as fast as possible. So if you can reach your teammates in the middle with a better shot, you want to do it. And they cleave, yeah, like I said. So obviously if a mob cleaves, you don't want to stay in front of them. Here I have my intercept ready for the Tainted Elemental, which is good. And here, what else? Yeah, if you're a warrior, you don't get one shot by the elites that cleave, but if you're like anything else really, or anything that is not played, the chances of you getting one shot by the cleave is pretty high. So yeah, be very careful with that. So yeah, killing this elite here, and then you loot the Tainted Core that you can throw, or that you need to throw to a teammate. There's a macro in the video description that will, if you put it on your action bar and you press it while you have a Tainted Core in your inventory, he will throw the Tainted Core to your target, the macro that is, and say this little text here. So yeah, this is like everything that goes into min-maxing for P2. If you look at like if we only look at this class, if we only look at warrior, obviously, like for your guild there's a lot more, but this is like too much to talk about. So if you have questions, just ask, and we're going to continue with P3. Alright, so last phase. So there's a shit ton of complicated stuff not only you but your guild can do to min-max here. Yeah, first of all we look at your number 1 priority, which is to survive. To fulfill this gets harder the more melees you have, because the number 1 reason for you to die as a melee is a combination of root and toxic spores hits you. So first you want to be able to get out of root, yeah, with as much as possible, which means you want to have a living action potion and potions and maybe a PvP insignia on you for this fight. And second, you don't want to be too clumped up and always be on the move. You can use the method that is like walking in for an auto attack slam mortal strike and walk out for 2 seconds waiting for the next auto into slam into whirlwind, especially if you do like the combo with whirlwind. Whirlwind has like a huge range, so you can start walking out directly after the slam immediately, because then when walking out you just press whirlwind and it will still hit the boss. So yeah, this is a nice thing. Yeah, with this method you lose like almost 0% of your DPS if you do it 100% correctly, but you increase the chances of you and your other melees to survive by a lot. Yeah, to learn how to use this method is kinda neat, because you can use it on other bosses or situations as well. Like for example, if your tank has static charge, you can do it. Yeah, another good way to handle this problem, like that your melees will die if they are too clumped up, is to just constantly move the boss in a circle around the room, so all your melees are basically forced to stay on the move. If your main tank gets a static charge, it's nice to have the second tank ready to taunt the boss, so your melees don't lose too much uptime, because it's a kind of a DPS race. The second really important thing is the mind control, and the two most dangerous players that can be mind controlled are healers, because they can heal the boss, and again it's a burn phase, and melees because they like to one-shot other players. So it's good to use annoying abilities like Intimidating Shout at the start of P3. So yeah, if you get mind controlled, you don't use them on your raid, because then the mind control can't use them because they are on cooldown. You can always disarm melees as well, so keep that in mind. The two tanks who taunt the mind controls need to do a really good job with that, because if they don't, it's really hard for you to kill the boss actually. So from time to time you can help with the mind controls like taunting, especially if one of your tanks that is assigned to take care of the mind controls get mind controlled himself. So there are situations on like 1 or 2% boss HP where healer gets MC'd, in which you just want to kill that healer fast to eliminate the chances of that healer to heal the boss, heal Lady Vashj by like 3 or more percent HP. Because if you just kill him very fast and the boss has like 1 or 2% HP, the boss will just die in that time. Like the mind controls hold the players are mind controlled for a fairly long time, so if the boss only has like 1 or 2%, you immediately kill that healer. You will never lose the fight because of that, or you almost never lose the fight because of that, but there is a great chance that you lose the fight because the healer did too much healing to the boss. Because there are a lot of situations in the fight where you just can't really do anything to survive, and the longer the fight goes, the more likely you have those situations occur, and the less players you have, like the more people die, the more likely it is that you get hit by a combination of those strange things happening. And 2 players get mind controlled on 25 players. This is not a lot, but on 10 players, that's 20% of the players mind controlled. So you can see the problem here. I think this was everything that is like special to you as an Arms Warrior that I could think of right now. At the end I like to say that I'm really happy to see you guys helping each other out in the Discord, and I'm really happy about people adding useful informations about the boss in the comment sections, and I would like to see that trend grow and continue. So this is it for Lady Vashj, and we will see each other in the next video.